kids and great grandkids out here, and so busy watching everything that was going on, and didn't want to do any bitching or griping, so I thought stay off the line. uh, anyway, before I even get started, this has nothing to do with anything in the news right now. But just so you know, I'm not always beating up on Biden, and I'm not going to even mention him after this. But one thing he did do is the judges he put in have been wonderful. Not just the Supreme Court judge, but all the other ones. He's did a very good job at that. But now let's get to all of you. I'm glad that if you're watching this, thank you very much. And I want you to know I appreciate it. If you want a personal reading, it's lynntarotreading@gmail.com. Just get a hold of me and I'll set you up with an appointment. Love your comments. If you want me to read on somebody or something, please write it to me. There's so much stuff I can't even think of anybody to read on. I don't even, let me grab my cards. I didn't even take my cards out because I hadn't even wrote down a list of anybody or any questions. I thought maybe some would come to me if I write them down while I'm going to talk for a few minutes. I guess what I'd like to say is, where's Waldo? Where's Waldo? Let me bring this up. You know, it just amazes me. I like what they're doing on this. I think they're doing a great job on this January 6th, whatever you want to call it, inquiry. They set it up good. They set it up where even if people had never been interested and they decided to get interested in what's going on, that they would be able to tell what was going on. But Liz Cheney, who is very good to be in the position she's in right now for that position, and because we needed a Republican in there, even if she is a warmonger. She's made some references to some people being heroes for just doing, excuse me, for just doing their job. And it's kind of just blows me away. Like, I don't think Mike Pence wanted to testify. Didn't he want Congress? I obviously didn't want him to testify because they're not in there to do anything. But I'm sorry, but I feel like the Democrats are just building their funds so they can put the same old people in there. But if they really wanted to get to the bottom of this, why didn't they have him come in? I mean, everybody's in there talking, but not him. And if he's such a freaking hero, why in the hell didn't he say something? You know, up to the day before this, he still wasn't sure what he was going to do, whether he was going to try to help him overthrow the government or do what he was supposed to do. He was calling everybody to see if he could get permission to overthrow him. So, and then you know, they're more worried about the institution and not the institution of our government, the institution of Congress, and keeping their power and not stepping on anybody too much, but still coming out with the truth of this because they think it might help during the election. But they need to be talking about getting rid of some of these obsolete laws. Anyway, it's just can't get rid of them unless they get rid of the filibuster. Couldn't get rid of the filibuster unless they wanted to change the Supreme Court or what, I don't know. Couldn't add on to the Supreme Court because Biden thinks that would look bad on him, like, let's let our democracy go down the toilet because I don't want anything looking bad on me. I'm just, I don't know. The same with Jenny Thomas. Why isn't she being subpoenaed there? Maybe she will be. Maybe it'll surprise us all. But no, they don't want to mess with the Supreme Court. They don't want to mess with any other part of government. They're just worried about protecting their own asses. And another where's Waldo, Lindsey Graham. He was also in on that phone call. He called, what was it, Georgia, and asked him to find votes or something. And yeah, I heard Liz Cheney refer to Bill Barr as a hero. That almost, because he looked into the fraudulent election of Trump, the fraudulent part, the things that Trump brought up. And yet all the other times he served with him until he decided to quit because he thought he might be going to jail, he had his head so far up his butt that he would do it. He was just like a master king or chained to the devil. No matter how you want to look at it, he'd do everything that Trump wanted him to do. And so she didn't call him a hero. She called him an honorable man. That just blew me away. And it's a form of brainwashing the people, like saying this isn't really that bad. I mean, Barr knew what he was up to. Pence knew what he was up to. They all knew what he was up to. And you don't have to, what is that? Can't you just be guilty by standing by and watching somebody trying to steal our democracy from us and not even saying a thing till after it's all over, and then you want to cover your ass so you go in and talk? Anyway, I hope it helps, and no matter what you do, no matter who, even if it's Lassie, be sure and vote Democratic. But in other places, the Democrats just pissed me off the most was back in the elections, back in that guy that was talk about Roe v. Wade. I didn't want to talk about it, but how can I do this today and not talk about it? But here they were up to this, up to their eyeballs in this. They knew it was coming. They had a nice progressive, and then they backed that other asshole that was in favor of abortion. And without even a good record. And, I mean, Nancy Pelosi could have just stayed out of it. But she not only went out and tooted for him, she, they backed him with money. That was the worst thing. And I had that written down. Now I can't remember the names. I mean, that's been a month or so ago. But that was enough to show you where they're at. They're just into the blah, 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 and to pacify the people while they don't even realize that they're halfway buried in mud and don't even know what's going on around them. And then I guess in Thomas's, what do they call it, the writings they do when they do this, he said there was other things they needed to look in. And I had the laws written down, but I can't find it, like always. Maybe on a different page here. And one of them was same-sex marriage, and another one was some of the LGBTQ rights. And so anyway, yeah, they're not through. They're just getting started. And it's like the Democrats, they either just flat don't give a shit, or either as long as they get their money, or they don't have a clue what's going on. And either way, they shouldn't be in there. And most of those are those people that's been in there. And do you know, I think the average age of our Congress is 69 or something. I don't know. Anyway, but back 25 years ago, it was like 47 or something like that. So when did this start that these people just stayed in there for power and money forever? And so anyway, sounds like I'm just growling, and I'm sorry about that, but it pisses me off. And then this Herschel Walker that they're backing, I mean, he's threatened to blow the heads off of two, not one, but two different of his ex-girlfriends. And one of them he admitted to, and the other one said he did. He said he didn't remember, but that's because he has multiple personalities. So when did it go from wanting somebody smart in there to somebody stupid? They made such a big deal out of Obama when he got in there because he was smart and educated, and they called him an elite. But I've always wanted somebody smart in office, whether it was the president or any other part of office. I mean, when you start putting idiots in there, that's when you get the Marjorie Greenes and Bobarts and all that other one that's hopefully going to get arrested. That's who I'm going to write on. I'm going to read on Matt Gaetz. Thought somebody might come up to read on while I'm doing this. Is he going to get in enough trouble where he can't run again? Wouldn't that be wonderful? So, yeah, they're crazy. They're all crazy. And then on the news today, there was 3 churches that were raided in Texas. Maybe only 2 of them are in Texas and one of them are somewhere else, but I think they were all 3 in Texas. And it's because they've been recruiting people into those churches that are trained military killers. It's an organization, and it's a terrorist one, and they wanted them, maybe not terrorists, but anyway, it's people that's been trained to kill other people. They've been integrating them into these churches, so that's another thing where the Democrats are walking around with their head in the sand. This thing isn't over. And I know maybe some people watching this might think I'm crazy, but if you go back and look at my readings, and I'm not a bookkeeper, I don't keep track of it. But before the election and right afterwards and after January 6th, I was calling this stuff before it ever happened. I said he'd never give up power. I said that he was going to try to cause a big enough mess to call in martial law, so then he could take back control of the government before the next couple of weeks when Biden was supposed to get in there. It just didn't go his way. It just got so close to it, within 40 foot. It's scarier than hell. But if somebody would have got killed at the Capitol, then he would have called out martial law in 2 seconds and shut everything down, shut the whole country down, and that would have been it. Our democracy would have been gone. Almost got gone without it. So that wasn't just to block that vote. And that's why they had those other electors ready. I mean, anyway, I'm not crazy. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I never have been. But it's just crazy. But to think that, anyway, so it's going to be interesting to see why the FBI raided these churches. But it did, enough of it got out in the news that it's because they were actually recruiting people that were like trained killers. And it was obvious enough that they went in there. Anyway, that'd be interesting. That's something we could ask, if that has anything to do with the January 6th plan. I mean, it don't take a detective to figure out they're trying to start I don't even want to say it out loud, but they're trying to go back 150 years and have another one of those type of wars that we had. Something else right now. Oh, yeah. The progressive was that Jessica Cisneros, and she went up against Henry Quasar, who was running around saying that he was against women having rights. And this Jessica Cincinnati, she was real popular. She almost beat somebody last time. And with some money and some help, and had the Democratic Party got behind her, they could have had her in office, but they're terrified because she's a progressive and she don't owe anybody any money. So they just jumped right on there and backed that Quasar guy, and of course he won, and so we might as well, so there's, if we ever want to get rid of any laws that shouldn't be, well, there's another Republican for them that's going and calling himself a Democrat that they've got reelected in there with a terrible record of what he's voted on so far. But it's like they don't care. It's just whatever corporation is backing that horse, they'll back them no matter what because they get the money, they get the donations that comes into their deal. Anyway, it seems like right now they'd be taking out all the stops and saying, no, we've got to go the other way because we got to save our democracy, but it's like they're not even there. So I do want to read on some stuff. I just don't know what to read on. I guess we could find out, we could ask if the January 6th plan had something to do with these ratings of these churches. And we could read on Matt Gaetz and see if his ass is going to end up in jail. We could read on MTG because she's really got a lot of people going against her to get her out of office, to see if she's going to be in office. And I want to do one more I was just thinking of. January 6th, Matt Gaetz, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Yeah. Here's another Where's Waldo. Where's can't think of his name. I've been having days like that. The guy that was running all over Dills, that went down to Georgia, that they tried to get to come in and talk. He gave him paperwork, but he didn't give him. Well, if I think of his name, I can read on him before I'm through. What in the hell is his name? I hate that when this happens. As soon as I turn this off or something, it'll be there. But anyway, let's do this. So I guess we can see if Marjorie Taylor Greene's going to get her office back. Yeah, another thing, Biden went on and said, we just need to, fundraising. We just need to get the right people in office, and then we can get the right people elected and change this Roe v. Wade back or something. Something to the... It should have been codified. It could have been codified back right after it was done. Should have been codified when Obama was in office, but it could have been codified before that several times. And why it wasn't? It's the Democrats. Obviously, they didn't think it was worth it. They had control a few times since that's been in place. Quite a few times, probably. And they just didn't think it was that important. They're just, dealing with taking a bowl of Jell-O to a gunfight. So anyway, even then, because they're all having dinner afterwards anyway. They're all eating from the same trough. So my cards really been working good for me. For my personal readings, I've been blowing it out of the park. They've been wonderful. So let's see what's going on here. For Marjorie Taylor Greene, you little biatch. That's too nice a word to call her. No, that's not what I'd like. I'd rather call her a skink. A dumb one. And I shouldn't call people names. That's not nice. A lot of the other readers wouldn't appreciate that. But it is what it is, isn't it, folks? Excuse me, I'm going to hang this up if I knew how to do it. still know how to work my iPhone phone. No wonder I can't work the internet. I haven't gotten any more technical on it. I am getting a new, in fact, I've got it sitting over here. It's just not hooked up. The guy's got to come back and hook it up, but to make it where I can download a video without it taking 3 days. So since I do have my own equipment for that because it's cheaper and I had to upgrade. So Marjorie Taylor Greene. Are they all upside down? Yeah, I was just hoping the first one was upside down for a reason. So I'm going to have to turn them back around here. And so Marjorie Taylor Greene, we start out with the sun. That's her signifier. She thinks the sun and the moon sets in her ass. This is what she thinks. She thinks she's got protection from all different areas. So according to these cards, she's not afraid of nothing right now. She thinks she's in the winner's seat and going the right direction. Which could be true. The country turns fascist, she'd be right in there. Excuse me. But there's something wrong with her health, even though she looks like the healthiest person in Congress. Maybe it's because she's not getting any sleep because she's more worried about this than she's putting on. Maybe she's just all flash, pretending she can take care of everything when she's laying awake nights worrying about it, because this is in the health position. You know, as dumb as she appears, this is the influence over what's going on right now. As dumb as she appears, she knows more about what's going on. And she's in on more stuff than most people think she is. Most people think that she's just, or maybe not most people, but a lot of people think that she's just so dumb that she's just spouting her mouth off and like a little stupid person to say, look over here, look over there. But she actually knows more about what's going on inside this, I don't know if you'd call it a cabal or what you'd call it, this energy to push fascism all the way over. She knows more about both sides. She knows more about what's going on at the roots of it than that people give her credit for. You know, whatever's going on with her, it looks like the Democrats went out over it. This is Biden's card. He's in the sky in her reading. And there's news, something coming out about her right away. This is recent news. This is something that's going to come out right away that's going to connect her more so to this. So something's coming out right away to connect her into this more stronger than just asking for a pardon. That's one reason she feels so safe, is maybe she's got a pardon in her pocket or something. Some kind of deal's been made. Somebody's told her that you're safe no matter what because you're in with us, or she feels like she's in with the big guys. She's in with the big dicks. Yeah, she's made a deal with somebody. But the energy around that deal is, I don't know if that is a pardon or what it is, but something was given to her that's not going to work. The energy around this deal is not going to work. Not going to work at all. She's afraid of being judged. And this is like her hopes and fears, so she's afraid of people finding out what's really going on to judge her. And she's wishing, or she will be wishing, pretty quickly, that she was with Devin Nunes, that she had just quit Congress to go to work on this Truth Social or whatever the F it's supposed to be. What a name to give something from somebody that can't open up his mouth without lying. That's the biggest oxymoron in the world. But anyway, here's she's going to wish she'd gotten out of there before she gets cut out of there. So this makes me feel good. It's like we still have realms from on high that's helping with this whole situation of us losing our democracy. They really don't want to see that. Nobody wants to see it from the other side, or no matter what situation it is from the other side, whether it's angels, guides, or people that's crossed over that had a lot of their livelihoods when they were on earth vested in our government. But we are getting help from on high, and that's going to end up putting her out in the cold. So let's go back through this. She thinks she's the shiniest star in the spoon, and she thinks that she's so smart that she's got a way to get out of everything. But not really. She's still laying awake night worrying about it. Worrying bad about it. Not just a little bit. She thinks she's worried about having her house in trouble all of a sudden. She knows a whole bunch. She knows so much. She could get a lot of people in trouble if she does decide it's better for her to talk instead of to be a smart ass. I don't know if she's that smart. That's why I can't figure out. I was surprised to see that she knew as much about what was going on as she does. I'm saying that she might even... I'm not saying. I'm being told that she might even know something to do with who planted those little pipe bombs. Truth be known. She might be deeper in this in some other directions that nobody's even thought about. But the Biden administration's coming after her ass, and there's going to be news coming out about that right away. She might end up trying to make a deal with a Biden. I was thinking that this was the deal she'd made already, or some kind of pardon, but this could be a deal she tries to make when she finds out how much trouble she's in and this judgment comes down on her. And like I said, it's got her wishing, trying to make a deal, I'll just leave and resign or whatever, and you can cut me off from this. And then it shows her out in the cold, and this is like divine intervention. So this sounds pretty far-fetched, but that's what the cards are saying. And let's see. The cards have been good to me before. They've told me some things that sound far-fetched. So that's what I've got on there. So that was kind of interesting, wasn't it, folks? Surprised me. It did. Surprised me. So I got to stick these back in separate places because I don't want them to all come out together. That's another thing, my personal readings. I had some amazing things happen this week with personal readings with the main arcana. I've never seen them show up like they have. So I was hoping maybe they'd show up, and when I started doing one of the, the cards would work that good for me. So let's see what's going on here. So Matt Gaetz, let's see what's going on with him. Is he going to be in trouble? God, he's such a piece of work, isn't he? He's a piece of work. I'm proud of myself. anyway, I just can't believe how snarky, can't believe how crazy these people are. I can't believe all this bullshit they're feeding to people that they wouldn't sit down and have a meal with if it killed them. They'd die first. And all these people are sending money to them and paying them and stuff that they're making every law that they can that's going to end up hurting these people. Seems like after Germany, people would have known. When people keep making scapegoats out of everybody and blaming everything on somebody else or something else, it's because they're up to no good, especially when it's in government. It's what happens when you don't teach history, really history, to people. Or don't teach them how to discern. Take facts and whatever. Anyway, Matt Gaetz, what are you up to? I pulled two. Well, he's going somewhere. He's thinking about going somewhere. Is he thinking about leaving Congress? That's the signifier. He's going on a journey. Maybe it's to jail. Looks like it might have something to do with the military coming after him. I don't mean like military, but government. And he's really worried. Marjorie Taylor Greene's just losing a little bit of sleep. He's not. He's probably taking amphetamines to get up in the morning. Yeah, he's worried about getting prosecuted. Definitely worried about getting prosecuted. Is he sleeping with somebody that I just read about? I wondered that. I didn't want to say it out loud. But here's the lovers. He's got... This is sexual. I think he's worried about getting prosecuted about something sexual. Pretty, So he's another one of those... He's looking for a way to get out of there or a better job or something. I don't know. We're going to hear about him leaving or getting ready to leave or having to leave or something right away. His life situation is going to change right away. Well, it will if they end up coming after him to prosecute him. If he doesn't just ignore him and they let him. I'm about ready to, like the rest of you, to think there is no law. In the 7th house, which is him, this is a slow-moving night with the offer of money. He's checking behind the scenes, and probably his whole family, his dad and everything, because he's another one of these silver spoon babies, to see if he can buy himself out of this situation that's coming up on him. And the energy behind this is they own a lot of property, they own a lot of land, they have a lot of backing or something. I'm not going to turn this phone off. I don't know, turn the sound down. Let me do this. I'm not sure how to do this. I don't know if you can do it once it's like that. Yeah, it's Gavin Newsom. They're already trying to fundraise on this abortion stuff. I'm afraid, like they've sat around with their thumb up their ass for the last 30 years, and now they're going to make a lot of money. Not that they'll, put out any good ads. You want to put out any good ads against the Republicans, you have to go to the Lincoln Project, which is a bunch of ex-Republicans, or half of them aren't even ex, but at least they know what they're playing with. They know what they're dealing with. Anyway, so I'll come back and maybe draw a clarifier on this, but this is the Empress is the energy around the slow moving night. So he might have some kind of savior come in and bail his ass out of this, but maybe he'll have to leave Congress before it's over. He knows he's screwed. This is the energy over this. Yeah, he knows he's screwed. He knows he's screwed up, and he knows he should be in trouble. He's still hoping that this might pull him out. I don't know. He's got some kind of ace in the hole. Maybe that's his. Maybe he did get his pardon. Who knows? I would say his job title is going to be reduced, and his way to get his hands on monetary stuff is going to be reduced. But he's got family money, and he's probably got a lot of money in the bank, so it's not like it's going to hurt him like it would a regular person. But it looks like his finances are going downhill, and things are not going to work out the way he wants them to. So let's go back over this. This is Matt Gaetz. So we've got my glasses keep slipping down. We've got him making a move. I don't know if it's leaving office or something, but it's a big move, and I think it's leaving because the government's on his butt. He's been worried about this. This is the law coming after him, and it's because of not just the January 6th stuff. This is going to have something to do with this case of him with minors too, since we got the lovers here. This is also a sexual card sometimes. So he's going to be going away. He's thinking he's got enough money and enough things working slowly behind him that would actually keep him out of jail. And he feels like he's got an ace in the hole. But at the same time, he's terrified. Absolutely terrified. And the outcome is him getting cut off from what he's doing now. So maybe he won't be able to run for Congress. All this stuff sounds really good. Sounds just like I'd like it to be. I'll just believe it when I see it. But this is what the cards are saying. We got to go by that. And look at this. I drew a clarifier. So yeah, he's going to end up on the bottom of this. Not in a good way. Was he the chief of staff? What? Meadows. Mark Meadows. Let me write it down or I'll forget it in 2 seconds. Now, there's another Waldo. Why hasn't he been in there? I think he's the one that gave him all that paperwork and got a lot of people in trouble, but maybe he's talking to Garland or whatever. Have to wait and see what happens with those guys. I'm not going to pick on them. I'm not going to praise them. I'm not going to put them down. I'm just hoping they're doing their job and they have got a plan. Looks like they might have to raid those 3 churches today. Let's cross our fingers that the Attorney General's after him. But Mark Meadows, that's what, I don't know if we can answer it that way. If I ask if they're going to give it, we could just ask what's going on with him and is he going to get his comeuppance? I guess. I don't know how else to ask this. So Mark Meadows, what's going on with you? Let's just ask it that way. Mark Meadows, why aren't you right in the middle of this? Talk about where's Waldo? You know, it's like how can they do this and it be our government and people not even have to show up? And how come they ask some people to come in and subpoena others? I mean, it's like they're not really serious about nothing. They're just want to get the information out there so they can fundraise on it and bat people with the money they fundraise by that don't even support Roe v. Wade. It just blows me away. It does, and I'm sorry, I'm a Democrat, and I always vote Democrat, and I want everybody that's listening to this to vote Democrat, but it doesn't mean I can't be aggravated with them. They are doing a good job on this hearings because I don't know why. Maybe because they got a Republican almost running it. Who knows? Oh, God. It's time they grew up. quit playing in the sandbox and went on up to what's going on in the world. Anyway, so let's see. Mark Meadows, what are you up to? What's going on with Mark Meadows? Mark Meadows, what's going on with you? Mark Meadows, what's going on with you? Mark Meadows, what's going on with you? Okay. It's funny, but this almost makes me think maybe he is talking to Garland. I don't know why. We'll see. I'll believe that when I seen it. But why is he feeling so strong? What could he possibly be doing? Oh, because he thinks he's baffled him with bullshit? Dazzled him with brilliance? Baffled him with bullshit? But he couldn't be that dumb. Maybe he's connected in. Maybe he's already made a deal with somebody. We got the Wheel of Fortune here, but it's upside down. So his world is getting ready to change, and it will not be for good. It's not like he's stopping one job and starting another better one. No, his little world, as he knows, it's coming to an end. It's going to be something to do with his overseas stuff. Maybe it's that little trip where to go to Dubai or whatever. Maybe they're going to find out some other money he was taking, maybe a whole lot of money to get behind overthrowing the government in the United States or something. I shouldn't say that out loud. Just for fun and entertainment. This is YouTube for fun and entertainment only. But it's something to do with something. What's going to tear up his world and make it like he never thought it would be is going to be something to do with some kind of overseas project. And the government's going to get his ass, or either he's working with the government, one or the other here. And this doesn't look good. This is the end of his career as he knows it. Or it could be worse, but I don't. It's in the 6th house. It's not, whatever's going on with him, we're going to find out about it right away. So I don't think we're going to have to wait too much longer to find out what's going on with him, because it's coming up quickly. And it's not good. So then I got the star card in the 7th house. I can't imagine anything that would, this is usually the United States. So this makes me wonder if he's talking to Garland. I can't help but wonder, his life would be over as he knows it, but maybe he's just trying to stay out of jail. But this shows that he's doing something for the United States almost, or talking to Garland, and this is what's going on really close to him, near to him. Maybe he's already spilled all the info. I get tired of that spilled the beans information. Look at this. This is, yeah. He's doing something with maybe the AG. They're making deals with him, or he's making deals with them. Something's going on there. Some kind of, because that's the United States. And he's hoping that it'll get him out of this, anything to do with jail, or anything to do with treason, or anything to do with anything like that. He's hoping that'll get him out of there. But either way, he's going somewhere. I'm going to draw one more card over this. Can you notice how many times this chariot's come up? And I bury it deep and shuffle and shuffle and shuffle. I never stick them in there together. And the sunshine. So he's hoping it gets him out of trouble. And he's going to be reduced in status because he's leaving. I don't think unless people are really crazy, that he'll ever be in government again. But that doesn't, my thoughts on it don't mean nothing. So right now, he's feeling strong, giving evidence, but he's not giving all truthful evidence. He's still guiding him up and down. But this ends his life as he knows it. I don't think he'll be in public office again. Some people were talking about him running under the Republican ticket about 8 or 9 months ago. I don't think he'll be running for shit. Maybe be running to get out of the way. They've got some overseas stuff entangling over here, and I can't help but think that this is overseas money that came in for this insurrection. And the government knows that. And we're going to find out about it pretty quick. It's going to be the end of him as he knows it. And it's going to be good for America. Hello.
Hi, Lynn.
Hi there.
So, are you ready to try to do the internet?
Well, I hope everything's still working. Hi, everybody. I'm back. That phone call was from Dan, my adopted nephew's nephew. He's so sweet. He has his own business, so he doesn't, and he lives far away, but he was nice enough to come over and help me yesterday with some electronic stuff, and we just hooked up a new modem over the phone. So anyway, I don't know where I was in this reading, but I'm going to finish it, and it was on Meadows. And I think I got far enough to say that his life as he knows it is over. And then it was the star. So he's going to be, because this comes right after it, even if he don't want to be, I think he's going to be the star witness and bring things into light that this is, maybe he's really close to going to jail or something. I don't know, because this is him really showing what's going on in this whole movement. And when this is all over and done, it doesn't show any jail time, but it shows that his life, he's got the same card that Matt Gaetz had. He'll never be powerful like he is now. I mean, I'm sure he'll have probably money the rest of his life. God knows where he might have it stashed, if we don't end up in jail and he can get to it. But, like I said, his life's not going to be that powerful. And I had a strange hit when I was working with Mark, or not working with him, but plug it in and stuff, because he's not here where he plugged that up. He did that remotely. And I was talking to him on the phone, and I had to plug some stuff in to hook up that modem. I had a strange feeling this might be something connected. He might know the whole plan. Might have something to do with those raids on those churches even. It looks like he's going to bring a lot of light to this, because he has no choice but to bring light to it. And he's definitely going to be the star person in coming through with what's really going on. Or maybe we know what's really going on, if anybody's really paying any attention. But what's the bigger picture of this all? So I'm going to let you guys go. And if anybody stayed in this long, I want to thank you for watching. And hit like, thumbs up, and subscribe. And I want to thank everybody so much. And please send me, if you want questions answered. I don't care how ridiculous they seem to you or whatever. I just need some stuff to read on, and because I'm going to start reading more, because I feel better when I do. And I miss you guys' comments so much when I don't. So even if you don't have a question, just get a hold of me and let me know if you want to ask anything. And I just want you to know I love you all. And thank you so much. I salute you.